Good morning, everybody. Almost afternoon. I'm Angela Erbaugh. I'm the president of DRMA. I'm really thrilled to have our member Hughes company online today to present this webinar full of great content. I'll turn it over to the Hughes folks.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Mary Fromling will be covering the presentation. She is a Senior Director of Marketing and Sales at LSS Holdings. She has over 20 years of experience in environmental health and safety and fire and life. So we will turn the program over to Mary. Mary, take it away.
Can you see my slides there, Scott? Just want to make sure and confirm.
Got it.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for giving us time today and to talk about this very important topic. And I really appreciate being a DRMA member. I live in your community, south of you in Waynesville, and I take very seriously the mission that we all have in our work life, and being able to provide a healthy building for employees and visitors is extremely crucial. It was important before, and it's even more important now with the challenges that we're all facing. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about today are cutting edge, but some of them are standard or best management practices that we've used in the field for decades. And I know our company has been providing these services in the field for the past 16 years. But overall, our company as a whole, LSS Holdings, is in the business of life safety, and it's always been our focus. So let's get started talking about healthy buildings and what we're doing to help customers. So in my role, by the way, as director of sales for the companies, I get to talk to people all over the United States, and I get to talk to them about what they're dealing with right now, and also talking about the services as they relate to keeping their businesses productive. So I get this really unique perspective on seeing what people are doing, whether it be in Seattle or right here in Dayton, Ohio. And today we're going to talk about, again, services that you're maybe very aware of, like HVAC cleaning and then UVC, but combining all of these services together and being proactive about them so that you can remain productive and keep your building safe. So, you know, whether you ask questions on this presentation or you approach us privately afterwards, we do get to see what's going on out in the manufacturing community and what they're doing to protect their workspaces and their employees. So HVAC system cleaning, we've been doing this for decades, and most of the calls that we would get and the scope of work that we've been presented with had maybe a more of a quality control forward message, and making sure to keep dust and debris off of the products that you're manufacturing, as well as making it safer for the employee. But you know, we see much dirtier HVAC systems than this, but this could very well be what's in your system or in your building currently. And on the left is obviously before and then after achieving the clean standards that we're expecting. What's living in our events, it is a good time to talk about that, because even before the pandemic, we were concerned with bacteria and viruses and breeding grounds for mold and mildew and dust mites. And again, your focus might have been before keeping the ducts clean because you didn't want detritus falling onto finished product, or maybe you didn't want detritus falling into people's eyes. But you weren't aware that we could also combat mold spore growth and other conditions that are allowed to feed off of dirty ductwork. So clean ductwork is the first step to removing airborne contaminants and allergens out of the air you breathe. And we're going to talk about indoor air quality combined with high touch areas and how to maintain them. Because again, there's no silver bullet to protect your area from pandemic. There really is multiple steps. There really are multiple steps. And you really don't want to not consider one of these steps when you're putting your program together. So clean ductwork is first. And it does improve airflow. And some of the outcomes when putting these systems in place, these steps in place, give us better airflow, give us better energy consumption, as well as improving indoor air quality. So they also can give you better risk management on fire in combustible dust settings, not breaking out in your ductwork as well. So there's a lot of upside. There's a lot of things that you get as a result from cleaning your HVAC systems and improving your indoor air quality, and that cannot be discounted as you evaluate how to put your program together. UVC light disinfection for coils has been around for decades. We got into it a few years ago as a way to, again, improve performance for facilities, whether that be energy performance or whether that be, again, for quality control. And this scientific UVC lighting has been proven to be extremely effective for disinfection at the coils. Again, my perspective is very unique. I get to see what's going on all across the country. I get to be in conversations where people are actively pursuing CARES Act money and putting in UVC in their systems. I also get to be in continued conversations and projects where customers saw the benefit of lower maintenance as well as lower utilities. So the demand is incredible. It's not too late to be putting this into your program. So what is UVC light? Again, it's been around for decades. It's proven to save energy and maintain costs within HVAC systems. Mold biofilm on coils of only 0.002 can reduce energy efficiency by 37%. We can show cost savings to be able to provide ROI, whether you're doing a capital improvement project or new construction, to be able to show the payback by putting in UVC. But UVGI is the most cost-effective and practical solution. And we know there's a lot of other systems that are out there. I think you're all getting bombarded with different ways to put in equipment to help you with combating COVID. But we've seen none that are as superior as UVGI. It does not create ozone and is very affordable and easy to put into your racking systems that are already established, and very, very low cost. The systems also improve bacteria, viruses, and allergens as well, so covers a lot of ground for you. UVC light disinfection for the coils. As you'll see here, there is space in your system, whether directly at the coil, or I'm currently on a large project with a municipality where we don't have the space at the coil, and we're putting them in at the ductwork to achieve clean indoor air quality. But these, when put in the return close to the coil, amazing opportunity to kill growth by shrinking biofilm at the coil. Give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get my pen out, but I've got to move this where I can see it. So this is data. Clearly, that's a lot of data to take in on one slide, but the EPA has been very involved in the study of how UVC does inhibit growth of mold and bacteria and virus. And so they've been looking at these modalities for their own buildings, for Homeland Security as an example, and other buildings where they've been trying to achieve positive indoor air quality. The number that I want you to take a look at as you look at all this data would be down, pardon me, my fault. I thought I was getting my pen out. Here we go. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. So I want you to pay attention to the column here. Sterile air happens to be the leader in achieving eradication of bacteria spore forms, from forming. So all 9 of these UVC devices were 99% efficient at inactivating the vegetative bacteria. 3 of the UVC devices were 93% effective for all 3 of those microorganisms, mold, bacteria, and virus. 5 devices had 46% efficiency, and 2 devices had 46% efficiency in destroying the virus. So the equipment that we're involved in mostly is right in this area, sterile air, achieving the highest standard in this study that's represented here, in killing all 3. So that's what you need to be looking for, is our devices and solutions that will destroy at that rate mold, bacteria, and virus. Now, I said that there were multiple steps that you needed to put in place. So cleaning your duct systems is step number 1, installing long-term solutions like UVC at the coil, step number 2, and then facility disinfection, cleaning, and protecting for step number 3 as it relates to those high-touch areas. So over the last year and prior to last year, when pandemic, before it became an issue, we got very involved with using ultrastatic sprayers and applying CLOROX T360. And we had been doing high reach cleaning as it related to dust, combustible dust, for a long time, over 16 years. And we saw the need to start talking about healthy buildings. We did not see the pandemic coming. We did not know that that was going to be, there was going to be such a demand. For those of you that have been working with us throughout pandemic, we're all aware of the demand for putting this into their maintenance practice. But we use deep cleaning service with a combination of hand wiping and utilizing electrostatic sprayers to apply disinfection that is EPA approved. We also apply handheld UVC, excuse me, cleaning as well as a combined protection on high touch areas. So across the country right now, especially in manufacturing, even though we do have a core customer base that is in healthcare and acute care, we have seen tremendous response for our customers that are in manufacturing to bring us in both proactively and reactively for paying attention to high touch areas. So the workstations, countertops, doorknobs, handles, restrooms, break rooms, lobby areas, as well as testing to make sure that those areas have been deemed clean once we have maintained those areas. And I think in the beginning, back in second quarter of this year, we saw a lot of one time only. And then we saw customers adapting and adopting maintenance schedules and having us come in and approach these high touch areas. And it's only become more important over these last few weeks as we go into this fall trend. Pardon me. Let me turn off the laser pointer. Okay. I mentioned that there was the ability to add protection to your multi-step process. I also mentioned that we had cutting-edge technology. And oftentimes we don't think of chemistries as cutting-edge technology. We think of equipment. We're all in manufacturing. We think of robots, and we think of pieces of equipment that will help us in our work. But over the last few months, we became involved with a patented bioprotection. It's a water-based antimicrobial technology that provides persistent and continuous protection for these services, for these high-touch areas, for greater than 60 days. So this chemistry is applied on both porous and non-porous surfaces, which is very exciting. When you look at some of the other steps that we have, sometimes it only addresses porous or non-porous surfaces separately and never the combination. So we have the ability now to be able to put a protective layer onto these multiple surfaces and form a bond on these substrates that provide protection. And the way that they do it is it forms a layer of nanospike. So in the graphic that you see to the left, you see what is untreated to the left, which is flat and basically anything can land on it and then thrive and survive on that flat surface for extended periods of time. We do know that the virus does live for a long period of time on unprotected surfaces and unclean surfaces. And so this graphic shows you that this monolayer is created when you apply BioProtect, and it has a positive charge that attracts the negatively charged bacteria and virus. So once this is attracted, the molecular spikes pierce the cells and rupture the cellular membrane, and this technology inactivates microorganisms from growing: bacteria, mold, mildew, fungi, and algae. So this is very cutting edge, very exciting technology, and we're seeing tremendous results by adding this step. So we're going to clean, we're going to create a clean environment and a baseline. We're going to install HVAC, UVC into our HVAC to be able to give cleaner air, and we're sanitizing and cleaning the high touch areas, and then putting a protective layer as our final step that is giving you the protection. So step one is clean. Start off by cleaning and removing the dirt, grime, and oils off of these surfaces. Disinfect by using a EPA approved hospital grade disinfectant, and then adding the bioprotection, and when it's fully dried, you're able to be done and going. This BioProtect, by the way, is approved and allowed, FDA approved. So whether you're manufacturing food products or whether you're concerned about your employees and consuming food after bioprotection has been put in place in the break room or in other areas, it is EPA approved, and it's very exciting to be able to use this not only in our production and manufacturing, but also in the areas that we want to keep our employees safe. So speaking about bioprotection, we wanted to give you some case studies of where customers are using this protection in place. And we think about, I know I'm not traveling as much in planes, but I have been on them since COVID has come into our lives. But here's a case study where LINX applied BioProtect throughout all of their systems, and we're proud to share with their customers that and announce to their customers that they've been given additional protection beyond 90 days. So they put this press release out, and we're proud to show the science behind being able to provide long-term solution, and that you could feel safe getting back into their jets and feeling safe, as well as their employees feeling safe. This is another great case study where Paramount Partners were very concerned about losing business at ATMs. People were very afraid of using ATMs, as well as they get a high traffic of the population, and there was no way to really control at the ATM, especially since those are not attended by their employees. So using BioProtect to be able to apply to their equipment and not suffer any damage to their equipment, being able to treat it and leave it, put it in place, was extremely attractive to them. And I can think of many applications for any of us where that would be a great solution, to be able to set it and forget it, you might say, and then to be able to promote that you were able to provide a clean and safe environment for the customer or the employee when using these machines. Commercial real estate still impacts all of us. I know that we all have offices, including LSS Holdings and Hughes Environmental. We're very concerned about providing a safe work environment for our employees. So putting in UVC at the coil to clean the air in the return was a step that we took, as well as deep cleaning and sanitizing, and then BioProtect application to be able to provide long-term results. So the Lind company understood that they needed to make sure that they used multiple step approach and dealing with their residential units and their common areas, and they're very proud to be able to promote that they're controlling their risk and providing a more safe environment by using the multi-step approach and putting in BioProtect as another step. One of the things that we found very early on was that it doesn't matter whether you're installing UVC at the coil, whether you're cleaning your ducts, or whether you're adding this important new cutting edge technology with BioProtect. It was very hard to demonstrate the cost that you were investing, the concern that you had for your employees and your customers. And so coming up with a way to promote and help you communicate that was very important to Hughes Environmental. So we've created these media kits that help you, whether you're choosing to just use one of the steps or all of the steps, to communicate that to the population that you're trying to give peace of mind to. So educating and showing your employees that you're committed to providing a safe employee environment, as well as being able to show your customers that you're doing this for your employees and for them. We know that important. So we have a team that's headed up by Scott Waldman, who's helping me today with this presentation. And we have a way to help you communicate your message. It doesn't matter whether you're a small company or whether you're a large company doing business with us, or whether you're a member of the DRMA, that we help you communicate that. And we have these kits available, but we can also customize them so that you can help communicate what you're doing to make sure that you can bring peace of mind to your business. So this is a very important part. It's not just a label, it's not just a stamp, it's not just a piece of paper, and we know that. So we're here to work with you and help you communicate that, because again, there's no real light that comes on afterwards. There's no real buzz. There's no real immediate gratification other than that peace of mind knowing that you've used science and you've applied science to make sure that you have a clean environment for your employees and for your customers. It's very important that, again, that communication be open and that we make ourselves available to you at all times, whether you're doing business with us or not, that we're here for you to be a sounding board. We have a website that we've invested a great amount of time in, both for Hughes Environmental and our other companies, but you can reach us through our website at hughesenv.com. You can also reach out to us at info@hughesenv.com, and we'll answer any of your questions as it relates to this or maybe other technologies that you've looked at. We do have good supporting data on what is out there in the marketplace, and we're happy to discuss what you're considering in your facility. We also have a 24-hour, fully staffed contact number at 888-845-3952. And you can hit, I believe it's number 1, but there is a COVID hotline, and that hotline is staffed 24 hours a day. This is how we're staying on the front line of providing emergency response service for our customers to disinfect and sanitize and protect their locations. But it's also a way for us to be in communication. You can call us on that hotline and ask us questions about disinfection, sanitizing, duct cleaning, and HVAC and UVC. You don't have to wait. You don't have to send in an email. You can call us 24 hours a day, and we're happy to respond and happy to help. So at this time, I think, Scott, we're going to open it up to questions if there are any, and
I'm
happy to field those.
I'm going to unmute the attendees so we can see if we can have a Q&A session before we wrap up. I do appreciate everybody spending their lunch hour with us today, so I'm going to unmute everybody now. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Mary Fromling?
I hope I didn't talk too fast either, Scott, and I know we'll make these slides available to DRMA so
Yes.
that you can take your time with them as well.
And we do also
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got a question for Mary. The BioProtect spray, can you tell us again how long that lasts? If you put the disinfecting and BioProtect down, how long does that last on a surface and still
Absolutely.
kill viruses?
Thank you. That's a really good question. And again, this is FDA and EPA approved. The data says 90 days. We do recommend that you look at having a maintenance plan in place for 60 to 90 days. You know, that you make a plan and put a plan together, but it does have efficacy for 90 days. And you can continue to touch those surfaces. Other liquids can be put on them. And it is creating an actual mono layer that is invisible to the eye, but very, very protective and very effective. Thank you for your question.
All right, if we'll leave the line open for a couple more seconds, but before you leave, we do have some handouts in the handout panel in your go-to interface. So please download the handouts about facility deep cleaning, our UVC catalog, and BioProtect before you leave. But if anybody doesn't have any questions, we will end it here and tell you thank you very much for joining us. Have a nice lunch break, and we have another webinar on December 1st in our Healthy Building series, and we'll focus on fire and life safety in industrial facilities and manufacturing facilities. Mary, anything else you'd like to say before we end?
Yeah, I know that everybody is weary of the topic of pandemic, and I know we're having to stay vigilant. But thank you all for letting us present this information, and we're really looking forward to talking to you after this call is over. So everybody be safe, and thank you again for your time. Very much appreciated.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.